Welcome to Making a Murderer, Rubberducky YouTube channel.
You can tell yourself and all our friends I was wrong and you were right. But your sins that happened in the dark will come out in the light. I'm not gonna waste my breath, I won't put up a fight. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper and the months are gonna talk until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. When a train whistles far away, and when the cold wind blows, when the lightning in your eyes reveals the darkness in your soul, the world will be reminded of what it already knows. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper and the months are gonna talk until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. No one may ever say a thing, but surely as the seasons change, you feel like every finger points at you.
So Halloween 2005 is a Monday, 8:12 a.m. Starts off just like any other day. Steven Avery calls auto traders as he's done in the past. This time it's for his sister, Barb Yonda, who had to work during the day. Barb owns the red van that is being sold, and Steven gives his sister's name and phone number for the contact info in case they had questions. 11:43 a.m. Teresa calls Barb's landline, and she leaves a voicemail saying she can photograph the van after 2 p.m. and asks for an address or she won't be able to come. Why would Teresa not call Auto Trader to verify the address with her receptionist rather than calling and hoping the customer responded prior to her appointment time? Now, Kathleen Zellner says on October 31st, just a few minutes after this call, Scott Tadich visited Bobby at the Avery salvage yard around noon. A little after 2 p.m., Steven Avery states Teresa arrived. He met her by the van to pay her in cash and give her his ad, then followed her to her vehicle where she gave him a recent issue of Auto Trader magazine. He admits he may have placed his hand on the door of her vehicle. They say goodbye, and he returns to his trailer home, puts the magazine on the desk, and came back outside, at which point he saw her at the end of Avery Road with her left turn signal on, heading toward Larrabee. He also states the entire exchange lasted about 5 minutes. He saw Bobby Dassey's truck, but when he came back outside after putting the magazine on the desk, it was gone. 5 to 10 minutes later, his mother brought him his mail, and they chatted, and then he went and watched TV or listened to the radio. Steven denies using his burn barrels or the fire pit this day. Day 1. Freelance photographer Teresa Halbach of St. John in Calumet County vanishes. That day, she had 3 appointments to photograph vehicles for sale for Auto Trader magazine. The Avery Auto Salvage was stated to be her very last stop of the day. Halbach calls Barb's phone to leave a message that she will be there sometime after 2 p.m. that day to take photos of the red van. Halbach arrives at Schmidt's residence to take a car photo around 1:30 p.m. Halbach arrives at Zipper residence to take a car photo around 2 p.m. Laura Chedri of Singular Engineer testifies that all activities on Halbach's phone ceases at 4:21 p.m. Steven Avery's girlfriend Jody calls from jail at about 5:30 p.m. They speak for 15 minutes. Who was Teresa? Teresa Marie Halbach was born on March 22, 1980. She graduated from Hilbert High School in 1998 and graduated from University Green Bay summa cum laude with a degree in photography in 2002. She was the owner and operator of Photography by Teresa and did children's photography for Pearce Photography in Green Bay. Teresa was a member of St. John Sacred Heart Parish in St. John and the Business Marketing Group in Green Bay. She coached her younger sister's 7th grade volleyball team at St. John Sacred Heart School. She also enjoyed traveling and went to Spain, New Zealand, Austria, Mexico, and all across the United States. Most of all, Teresa loved singing karaoke and spending time with her family and friends. Where did Teresa work? Well, Teresa had 2 jobs and had also started her own business at the time she disappeared. She worked for Auto Trader, and as well, she worked for Pearce Studio. She told Tom Pearce October 31st was to be her last day at Auto Trader. How did she know that? Pearce, he reported a lot. He was her boss, and he knew more about her than a lot of people. When she got out of college, she was his intern, and she was currently working with him when she disappeared. He stated, "I was aware that Miss Halbach was getting phone calls from someone who was harassing her." And he reported, "Miss Halbach told me on October 29th that she intended to go out to a party on Halloween. I know that most of the time when Miss Halbach went out to a party, she went to Green Bay or Appleton. Miss Halbach informed me when she was working for me as an intern that she had been in a verbal and physical abusive romantic relationship when she was in college with a male. It is my understanding that she terminated that relationship. I gave my permission to Miss Halbach on a number of occasions to use my photography studio for nude portraits for her clients. In fact, a portion of my own business was taking nude photographs of my clients." So Teresa took a lot of business in on her own, including nude photographs. Now, who were the men in Teresa's life? Well, there are 3. This is Scott Blodorn. He was her current roommate, yes, an ex-lover, and he saw her last on the 31st. Was he a suspect? Never a suspect. This is Bradley Scheck. She was still kind of seeing him, and they were still in contact. He was married, and his wife had left him and filed a restraining order and filed divorce. His divorce, final, October 28th, 3 days before she goes missing. And he had had contact with her on the 31st. Last but not least, you have Ryan Hilligus. You know that gentleman that Tom Pearce talked about, where she had a physical abusive relationship? Well, this is who she was seeing at that time. And this is her ex-boyfriend. Now, he remained in contact and he last saw her on the 30th, but he can't remember if it was night or day. And he moves right on into her house. Were any of these suspects? No, none of them were questioned. Day 2, 11/01/05, Tuesday. The Avery bill passes the state legislature, and Teresa Halbach does not show up to work. But does anybody call? No. Wednesday, Day 3, 11/02/05. Teresa was the kind of gal that kept a diary. It was a journal, a video journal. And she stated, so let's say I die before I'm 31. Let's say I die tomorrow. I don't think I will. I think I have a lot more to do. Don't you think that would concern the friends the way she thought? She doesn't show up for work. She's a no-call, no-show. For work again. Her voicemail box is full on her phone. No one has heard from her. Her roommate says she's home every night. And she has not been home in days. 3 days, and no one has seen her. He didn't call her parents? Well, Thursday, Day 4, 11/03/02. Karen Halbach finally reports her daughter missing because Tom Pearce finally reports that Teresa has not shown up to work. At 2:52 p.m., Karen Halbach reports her daughter missing. On the very same day, earlier that morning, Thursday, Day 4, 8:30 a.m., 11/03/05, girl listed as death. But it's not who you expect. This is Carmen Botwell. She was found dead the same day as Teresa Halbach was reported missing by her mother and listed as death on the incident report by law enforcement. She was found by an unknown female upstairs in her grandmother's home in Mishkat, a few miles from the Avery salvage yard. Carmen Botwell was the same height, weight, and body build as Teresa. Carmen was 24 years old and Teresa was 25. Both wore glasses and had short hair. Teresa nor Carmen were ever seen again after Halloween Day, 2005. It took 3 weeks for Carmen's remains to be returned to her family. Now, on the very same day, just about 6 hours later, 11/03/05, second victim is now listed as death. Who do you think that is? I'll give you one guess. Yeah, Miss Halbach. So we have Carmen, and now we have a second victim listed as death. If things couldn't get stranger, on the 3rd of November, 6:34 p.m., Steven Avery charged as homicide suspect. Teresa's RAV4 was reported in evidence seized on November 3rd. Less than 3 hours after the victim was reported on the incident report as death, Steve Avery is listed as a homicide suspect with charges, if you see.
When a train whistles far away, and when the cold wind blows, when the lightning in your eyes reveals the darkness in your soul, the world will be reminded of what it already knows. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper, and the months are gonna talk, until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time tell on you. No one may ever say